What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video here. This video is about Lifeline. These are going to be tips and tricks on how to improve your gameplay as Lifeline or get familiar with her and become a better Lifeline. Now, for me, this video seemed kind of obvious. I wasn't really too keen on making a video about Lifeline because I figured she's not the most complex legend, but she was requested more so than any other legend so far, so I decided to listen to you guys and make a video about her. Now, some of you may think that Lifeline isn't that hard of a character to use, and while I will agree with you, there are some tips and tricks on how to be a better Lifeline and how you can be a better team player, and that's ultimately what Lifeline's main role is. She is a support legend, and she does help the team out, more so than a lot of other legends. Now, every legend has their perks, and every legend has their flaws. Now, Lifeline thrives off being a team player. If you are solo queuing with Lifeline, you could be at a severe disadvantage if your teammates die and quit on you. Because without her passive, which was buffed midway through Season 5, which automatically revives your teammates, you don't have a whole lot to work with. You have the drone as your tactical, and you have your care package as your ultimate, which takes a while to get, and it really isn't that good of an ultimate, if I'm being honest. It can come in handy at certain scenarios, but overall, it's still pretty weak. If anybody's new here and is interested in more Apex content, I would appreciate you consider subscribing to my channel. As far as why Lifeline is still a popular legend, it's two reasons. Well, a lot of players are still going to play her even though they've removed her fast heals, because they thrive off of using a legend that really doesn't have many abilities, and they think it makes them a better player because they're just using their gun skill. So you will see a lot of really good players still using Lifeline for that reason. The other reason is she's popular and ranked because she can reset the fight pretty quickly with her revive. Now, there was a rumor that she was getting nerfed and that the revive was going to have a 10-second cooldown and they were going to add back her fast heals, but I haven't seen that be official. I saw it as a tweet from one of the devs, and then I think he deleted it. So either they are planning on doing it, or they backtracked on it, or I completely got bamboozled and it was by a fake Twitter account that was posing as a dev. But either way, I'm not too sure. Now, regardless, as a support legend, which is what Lifeline is, guys, you need to be considering getting angles that aren't necessarily right there with your team. I'm not saying stray away, but use the weapons that you have to your advantage. So right here I have an R301. I'm pretty confident that my caustic is going to die, but this team is really playing aggressive. So I'm going to take an alternate angle here because I have an R301 and I can do a significant amount of damage from mid-range without being right in their face, like so. And then we're able to take on this 3v2 and turn it into our favor. Now, if I was right there to revive Caustic, I don't think it would have made a difference, and I potentially would have been in a worse spot to win the fight. So if you're playing close to your teammates, which I do recommend, then always just tap the legend, revive them as quickly as possible, because a lot of times people push the person who's being revived, which is interesting because they're essentially helpless. There's an animation of them being revived for a few seconds, and people get so thirsty for their kill that they push that. It's kind of bizarre. You saw it in one of my previous clips in this video, but honestly, don't do that. Push the Lifeline or the other teammate that isn't being revived, because unless that legend is getting revived with a gold bag, that legend is going to be 1 HP and it'll be an easy knock again. The biggest thing to keep in mind, guys, when you're playing Lifeline is try not to be the first person on your team to die or to go down. If you do that, essentially you're hurting your team, and you've probably overcommitted yourself, unless the circumstances just, crept up on you and you weren't really planning for that. But just keep that in mind. You cannot be the first person to die with Lifeline, especially if you're in like a high tier ranked lobby. Your abilities, you need to just be aware of them. If you're not used to playing Lifeline, you need to start to understand that you have no abilities to get you out of situations. Your abilities are really only for your team, with the exception of your health drone, which can heal you, but I mean it's not that good of a tactical, especially if you're getting pushed and you don't have time. I mean, it takes time to use your drone and for the drone to heal you, so Keep that in mind. If you're used to playing somebody aggressive or a mobility legend like Pathfinder or Wraith or Octane, definitely we do what we can. Definitely tone it back when you're playing with Lifeline, because like I've mentioned, you have no abilities to get you out of situations or get you in situations. So if you overcommit and you overextend, that's it. You have to rely on your gun skill, and that's only good for so much. If you're getting outnumbered or they've taken crazy angles on you and it's not a good fight for your positioning, you're essentially just dead. And you know, if your team can't help you, then it's a GG. So if you're not used to playing Lifeline, which I definitely am not as much, then that's something that'll check you real quick. And just try to play close to your team. She's a much better legend if you're squatting up with your friends, because of the coordination that goes along with playing with people. If you're solo queuing as Lifeline, it will be hard. So the biggest thing that Lifeline has going for her right now is that there's no cooldown on her revive. And while I agree that it was necessary to give Lifeline this buff and make it so that she could be the medic of this game, the fact that she has no cooldown on an instantaneous revive where she's not occupied is kind of crazy. And I'll be honest, it's made me lose a lot of fights when I haven't been Lifeline and been going against the Lifeline. It is kind of broken. I have seen a lot of high-level content creators complain about this and hear them say that it promotes bad players making bad plays, or just making bad plays in general. And while I do agree, I think there should be some short cooldown on it. There's definitely a delicate balance between making her useless again. So that is something that I'm going to look out for in the future with Lifeline. I know that if I'm trying to 1v3 a team and I'm going against a Lifeline team and I've knocked one or two of them and the Lifeline res goes off, I instantaneously get scared because I'm like, oh crap, this has reset the fight and it's put me at more of a disadvantage. Always be there to revive your teammates, because I don't think a lot of you understand how much it just can tilt the fight back into your favor and how much it can reset the fight. I mean, if they're not close enough to push the revive, you've ultimately got a fresh reset, while you and your other teammate can hold off the enemies while your teammate gets revived, you know, on their own. So it is a strong ability, but it really only matters that you're there to do it to your teammates. It's not a revive, or it's not an ability rather, that really promotes you being a better player or promotes you having a severe advantage on your own, if that makes sense. All right guys, that's going to be it for me. If you've enjoyed this video, I would appreciate you slapping a like on it and letting me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Also guys, the comment that gets the most likes regarding what legend I should do next in this style of format, I will consider doing for my next video. I'm not saying my next video is going to be this style of video, because these videos tend to take a bit longer to record and edit, but it will be on my to-do list. And once again, if anybody is new here, I would appreciate you consider subscribing so you don't miss my next upload. And the last thing to promote is my Twitch channel. If you guys would like to catch me live streaming, I stream on Twitch pretty often. It is just twitch.tv/mangoesintrees, just like my YouTube channel. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon. Thanks again. Peace.